boosted on Mastodon.
Oh my god.
That's what people do in part instead of or they reblog. They don't just like retweet or something.
This meeting is being live streamed. Does that mean we're on?
Yes, we are.
Hey, hello. We're live. We're live
2
now.
minutes early as well.
I don't. We're not. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. We're on the YouTube. I can see it.
Whoops.
We are live.
Oh.
We even got confirmation in the chat that
Christopher's already said you're live now. Hi, Christopher. We're not even in a gallery view yet. We're just gonna throw it around.
I'm still looking for the right link.
This is like
Oh
this is
God.
like the best intro we've ever had.
Yes, I think we've never gone in quite this stupidly.
In classic 9 out of 10 testers fashion, we've gone live without realizing it.
Off we go.
So anyway, we'll start early. Hello. Merry Christmas, festive times. Nadolig Llawen, as we say in Wales, where I am. I'm Chris. I'm your sort of host for today. Welcome to 9 out of 10 testers. We might be a bit ranty, and it's Christmas time, so it will be festive rants and festive bants just for you.
Right.
So let's just quickly introduce ourselves before we dive in. Hanna.
Yeah, my name is Hanna and I work as a quality catalyst at Devoteam Creative Tech in Sweden.
Sanne.
Hi, my name is Sanne Visser. I'm working as a test manager and consultant at Capgemini, the Netherlands.
My mute button was very good there. Veerle.
Yeah, my name is Veerle and I'm a tester at Dutch Streetways.
Yay.
And that is me, Sir Shey Crompton, and I am director of Crompton Consulting. That's what I have to say at the moment, because there is news on the horizon, but I'm not allowed to say it just yet.
Ooh.
So
Exciting.
And I'm Chris Armstrong. That's who I am. Welcome. So Christmas time, mistletoe and wine, children singing Christian rhyme. How about that? What do we think about Christmas? Do we enjoy the end of the year times? Or do we find it a bit stressful? What about socials? What about gifts? Where do we want to start, people?
So we start with Christmas parties at work.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
How many of you had?
Oh,
Yeah.
man. All that expectation, isn't it? You sort of like have to you have to speak to people who you don't really want to speak to. You have to socialize with the boss. You have to behave, but everybody wants you to have fun. So and then there's the drinking and the eating, and well, not so much the eating, because quite often it's little hors d'oeuvres, and the guys walk past, and you're like, oh, that's an empty plate. So yeah, lots of expectations. Lots of stress.
Yeah, and then there's the Christmas party that the assignment gives, and then there's a Christmas party that the office gives, and then there's the Christmas parties that maybe an ex-employer gives and does still love you to come. And then by the end of the month, you're like, God, another party. It's like, do I have to? They do all feel like obligations.
I know this is all about ranting, but I actually love a Christmas party. What can I say?
Oh, no.
Right, that's it. Hang on. How do I kick you?
I may have been at a Christmas party last night. I may have been at 2 Christmas parties last night, because first we had our own department a Christmas bowl, which was like very sensible and lasted until like 6:30 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then some pals that I made in another department invited me for theirs, and so I went along after, and it was good.
But I think they did some fun stuff at your Christmas parties. I mean, all the parties I went to really tried to do their best. Like there were live bands, there was people that should have been dancing that weren't dancing, but you could have, if you'd wanted to, you could have had fun. But they do tend to be a bit stilted some of the time, where you're just standing there with a drink and sort of stiffly chatting with some people that maybe are your boss.
That's never really a problem for me, because I will know 3 people, and by the end of the night, like I will know everyone, and all of those people will also know each other. which I love to do. I love to be that person like, hey, have you met yet? Which is good. They actually did something pretty cool at our Christmas party yesterday, I thought. They invited everyone to bring something from your home that you don't use anymore, and that you're like, oh, why do I even have this? And like they had a little raffle where you could win someone else's useless shit.
You thought this was a good thing. Do explain what you won, because it must be spectacular.
Oh, you know what? I'm so very happy that you asked.
Not scripted at all, people.
I won a Christmas deer.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
good Lord.
And you
That's
know what?
useless, fat goats.
I
That's
didn't
pretty
actually
awesome.
win it. My manager won it and then abandoned it. And I was like, I'm having that deer because I was eyeballing it. I really wanted to have it.
So
but
you
then,
stole
yeah.
useless tat from one of your colleagues. Well done.
Yeah, pretty much. No, like he'd already abandoned it. But then the quid pro quo here was that my other manager made me also win something else that I didn't want. Do you want to guess what it is?
Oh,
How
go
much
on.
worse than a cardboard deer could this be?
It's
Something with
actually
flashy
worse.
lights? No?
No, it's something even worse.
Oh, come on then. No!
Oh,
Oh, my
He
word.
made me take it home.
That's
What, to
That's-
bludgeon other
my
people
God.
with?
how festive can you
I'm
get?
so embarrassed to have this.
You've avoided owning that book like for years and years, from the beginning, starting out as a tester, and someone now made you take it.
I tried to throw them out at my previous job because we had them in the library, and I was like, I'm throwing these in the bin, and they were like, no, don't throw them in the bin. Like, maybe I can use it. Like, maybe if we get hamsters, we can use it for the bottom of the cage or something.
Oh, people get so sentimental about old books. Look, it's an old book. We throw them in the old paper piles by the thousands. You don't keep all of them. A lot of them are shit.
Jeez, with a book like that, though, you chuck it in the dumpster and even it'll go fuck off. You're not lighting that in here. Yeah.
But this made the Christmas party fun for you.
Yeah, like it was something to do, and like it was fun to watch other people win other useless shit. Like, yeah, there was something to do. So it kind of helped a lot of people, I think, as well, who feel awkward and like don't know who to talk to. Like, there's something going on. It's fun.
Yeah.
I thought.
All right. Fair enough.
At least it's better than a goodie bag full of useless corporate crap that you're never gonna put in a
like,
corner anyway.
And all of this shit already existed, so it's not like we put more strain on the environment to create useless shit. Like we just exchange it.
I don't know. I got popcorn in my bag of useless corporate shit, and I wasn't too unhappy about that.
That's a good thing.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Can we talk about food at Christmas parties? Because I find very often it either isn't very festive or it is rather overcooked, potentially. Certainly the main.
What kind of food do you get at your Christmas party?
Well,
Well,
Bitterballen,
yeah.
of course.
Not where I
Oh, I
went,
wish.
but, we had chicken, and it was the driest chicken I've had in a very long time, because they cooked it en masse. There were like 2,000 people at the Christmas party.
Oh,
Whoa.
And so they obviously don't want to undercook it and make everyone ill, but it was just hard to get through. And
Ouch.
Hannah's, what Christmas food did you have at yours?
I mean, we had Swedish food with Asian fusion. So Swedish Christmas food with an Asian touch,
Oh my
which
gosh.
was actually quite good. I was surprised. I was a bit skeptic going in because we've had this theme before, and that time it was not that good. But this
But,
time
like,
it wasn't.
Give us one example, because like, what is Swedish food with an Asian touch? Like, give
know.
like my
pickled-
mind cannot.
Pickled herring is quite Swedish to eat at Christmas.
So how do you
but
make it
then
an
you had-
Asian?
You
Thai
make
green
it
pickled
wasabi
herring.
pickle herring instead, so you have like a flavor to it.
that actually
so-
sounds amazing.
Or
I
pickled
really
herring
for
with
all
the
Christmas
peanut
parties.
sauce or something.
No, I know they had wasabi, and then they had kimchi butter, and it was a lot of different touches from Asia, but it wasn't too strong this time. I've had it before where it's like, what the hell were you thinking? This is not good, but it was actually quite good.
Okay,
I'm
so
not-
here, so like Christmas food, right? And you talk about it, that when Chris was talking about like the chicken for many people. Have any of you had to have like a sit down meal at one of these dudes where it's
Yeah.
you sat with like 4 or 5 people around you, and invariably the majority of them are people that probably don't want to sit next to you've chosen one guy or your best mate to sit at this side, and you're like, I'm going to talk to them all night, and I love this is really cool, and you sit around and you look around and you go, oh.
Being stuck around a table is it can be quite problematic sometimes, especially if they've assigned seating.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a tough
this
one.
is who we think you should speak to. No, you know nothing about who I want to speak to. Get out of here.
Yeah,
we
I'm
had
an adult.
something-
I can choose myself who I want
We
to
had
speak
something
to.
I would consider worse. We had a walking dinner, which I find, no matter how well executed, is always just bloody awkward because everyone's standing and everyone's chatting and mingling, and then these servers have to come through the crowd with these massive platters of food that are impossible to actually eat while standing. So people still desperately try and find some type of table or surface to sort of balance all the dishes and stuff on. It's like, there's no
Also-
really good way of doing that.
In any Christmas party, I'm holding a drink. And if I'm holding a drink, I can't use both hands for
Yeah,
food. And so
there's
you
the
better give
problem.
me something that only needs one hand to eat. If
And
it's
they-
on a plate,
yeah.
that's already a no-go.
Yeah. Well, then you would have not have liked that party.
Yeah, at least with a wine glass, you can sort of like slot it in your fingers and use your hand as a little plate, and you can stand there and try and.
You're
think
looking
yourself,
very
but like you're
salt
holding-
there, Shey.
Oh yeah. I'll just deliver the food into my my pint glass, shall I? Yeah, that is awkward, isn't it? And you're sort of trying to hug your. I mean, in the UK, if we have a beer, it's generally in a pint glass. So you're like hugging your pint glass, trying to like feed yourself and not spill down your front again, and somebody knocks you and then you splash beer on the person. That yeah, lots of fun.
Chris has just mentioned this is like every conference lunch, basically.
Yeah.
Which is true. They're like walking lunches, but there I sort of feel like I have an expectation I'm a pro at it. So I'll find a spot where I can sit down with my food at any conference. I'll find a way to still have that food and sit down. But yeah, it's awkward.
So thinking about awkward things beyond Christmas parties, what about gifts at work?
Oh.
I adore the colleagues that are organized enough to walk around with piles of Christmas cards that they hand out on time before they even go on leave. And they always make me feel awful for not being the type of person that reciprocates that love and attention.
Never done that, but it sounds amazing.
I know, I love these people, but like, how, first of all, did you manage to think of it on time, bring them into work before it's actually your last day, and to personally hand it to me? It's like, that just blows my mind in terms of attentiveness. So I actually love getting Christmas cards, but yeah.
Well, that's cool, but then you've got the pressure on the other side of like, so if you've got the cards and the gifts and like Secret Santa stuff, don't you? And it's like, okay, so somebody's giving me a card. Oh no, I really should probably think of getting it, but I don't really want to do cards. But how do I tell them that? And then there's a Secret Santa, and it's like, hey, everybody, sign up for Secret Santa, and you're like, well, I don't really want to do it. So if you're in a small group of people and you're the only one who doesn't sign up to Secret Santa, what kind of a dickhead do you look?
You're the Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah, slow hand clap for the guy in the corner because he doesn't like Christmas, that kind of stuff.
The worst.
Or the other one is, it's like, oh, you do go into it, and it's like, well, it's a $5 each, or God forbid, it's like, oh, 20 quid maximum. You're like, I only really want to spend a $5 on this person because you know what?
Yeah.
He's probably going to sit next to me at the Christmas food, and I don't really want to speak to him anyway.
There is the time when people don't know you, and you can tell that when they bought you a present.
Which
And
is
it's so
even more
generic.
awkward when it's a small group. When it's a big group, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. By that, well, bottle of wine is risky already. It's like, what if they don't drink?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, giving presents. I one company I worked at, and we did Secret Santa in the very first year. I drew the company secretary as my personal thing. I'm terrified of them. If I get them something wrong, I'm in all kinds of trouble. They told me, I got told they like chocolate, so it was fine in the end. But that's
Yeah.
I've
So if
never
we did
done
Secret Santa, one of you would be getting that framed, by the way. So
Yeah.
Getting it cross-stitched.
yeah. I'm going to commission Jem to do a Time God cross stitch that I can then hold up every single time. That's going to have to be done. Yeah. All right,
I've
watch
never
this
done
space.
Secret Santa. I don't really know. I don't really know the stress of it. Like I can imagine it, but I've never done it. We don't do it at work either.
No,
We
neither
just
do
got
we.
we just
Yeah,
got
we
a
don't either.
million presents from like like you're in a department, but you're also in a cluster, and then you're also in like a subdivision, and so every little bit of that organization gets everyone presents. So I've got like a pile of chocolate bars that I will probably not even get through in a year because I don't eat a lot of chocolate. But
By the way,
I'll take it. It's fine.
Of all of those words like subdivision and stuff, isn't cluster the absolute worst? As a sort of descriptor for like the group of people you belong to. Like, can we just ban the word cluster forever?
You
It's
know
so
what?
harsh.
It's a nice prefix for something else, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I don't really know what
That's the
cluster
collective
I'm in
noun.
because I still find the whole organizational chart very, very arcane and difficult to understand. So when people ask me like, oh, so where do you work with Industrial Ways? I'm always like, I just sort of like shout my department and hope that will be the end of it.
Yeah, but it's like it's a bit of a cluster duck. Simon.
Answers on a postcard, please.
It suddenly popped up, didn't it? Like a couple of years ago, I'd never heard of a subdivision in a department being called a cluster. You'd have guilds or interest groups or communities, any one of the above. But like we never really had clusters until about a year or two ago. That's at least in my perception. Like, where did that come from? Did it come from like a Spotify model or one of these other things?
Oh, God,
did we
probably.
inherit it from a bad Scrum book somewhere? Like, how did we end up with clusters?
Veerle, check your TMAP book. Maybe it's in the glossary.
Yeah, maybe it's there. Maybe there's a chapter on clusters for testers.
Yes.
Check under
Yes.
C.
You heard it here, but yeah.
You heard it here first.
Can't
It
find
is
it.
true.
TMAP says it doesn't exist, so it doesn't exist.
Well,
There we go.
I bet you it's a consultancy thing, ThoughtWorks, or something like that.
It must have come in
yeah.
from somewhere because it's so pervasive by now that you hear it in pretty much every company.
Maybe it's a really large worldwide consultancy that invented it.
Right,
Sanne,
if anyone can tell
any
us.
ideas?
Yeah, well, let's not talk about department names. We call that a practice. So that's another one I don't quite like, but oh well. We
I
live
love
with
that,
them.
Patrick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Synonyms
for
silo.
silo. Nice. Yeah.
Very wise.
It's so true, isn't it?
So we're now talking about more stuff to do with the office. What about end of year rushes to get work done? Like, it's a month, December, but most people take 2 weeks. So let's fit a month's worth of work into 2 weeks. That's doable, right? There's no stress involved there. People aren't ill. People haven't got anything going on. That's perfectly normal and acceptable behavior, correct?
I love how we all pretend it's a normal month while we all know full well our motivations have dipped, our presence is limited, it is cold and dark outside. That impacts us. Like, why do we pretend we're going to get stuff done? Can we just collectively agree to leave each other alone, like roughly after the 15th? It's like,
Yeah. I mean,
anything you have now, I'll see you back in January. Like, move it along.
Yeah. It's
see, I
really
try-
not going to get done.
If I'm leading a group of people, I do try to sort of go, hey guys, I recognize that this is a bit of a slow time, so let's try and keep things moving forwards. But that's okay. But the problem is the people with the money, all they're doing is looking at they'd say people can work 100% of the time for 12 months. Hang on, we got to give them days off? Okay, let's say 11 months then. Hang on, bank holidays, okay, so they work 100% of the time for all of this time, right? Every single day, all day, every day.
Yeah.
That is just stupid. And December,
and there's the weird
hell?
budgets that are yearly things. So then there's like little bits of funding left to still do some stuff. Oh, we allocated this to the sustainable action or something. And then it's like, there's like 1,000 left. We have to spend it in December.
Quickly
Like,
spend money on sustainability.
like it must
Quick.
like, why don't they just roll over? Like, there becomes this massive pressure to make sure you've spent all your allocated budget, which leads to more work. Let's not do this, please.
Here, okay, I'm super triggered when yous are talking about like the people with the money and the people with the expectations. There's one peeve that I've got, which is the Christmas speech or the end of year speech.
Oh, yes.
Which always follows the same flipping format. And so it's always about oh, what a year it's been, like as if not every year has been a year. What a year it's been. We all worked so hard, we hit some really important milestones, and then they list a few things that we can be very proud of together. And for next year there's going to be a lot of challenges, but I know that we're all going to work on them together and we're going to make it a really great year. I'm like, yeah, like every year. Thanks.
Don't forget, Veerle, they also saying we've set ourselves some ambitious growth targets.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ambitious. Like there's always these keywords. I'm always like, probably there's just like one big one that you get, like one big speech that you get access to when you reach a certain level of management. Like they all have it. It's somewhere in like some elder scroll that comes from a cave somewhere. And like you can just put in your own ambitious targets and like your own amazing milestones that we all reach together. But like probably like the speech is there. All you need to do is like fill in the gaps.
You're also missing one part. It's the chance for the higher ups to start sowing the seeds that when it comes to pay rises, we're not going to give you very much. And when it comes to bonuses, don't expect very much. And there's a certain wording there, isn't there? It's like, yeah, like last year, we had really ambitious targets, didn't we? And it was, there was a challenging time around the middle of the year where,
Stop
where I
it.
think, everybody, sorry, Veerle, don't kill me.
I'm
Don't kill me.
Oh, I died a little on the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, hugs.
Thanks.
I'm reading the Harry Potters to my kids right now, and I think the speech giving part is something that Dumbledore got seriously right. Every beginning school year and end school year, he's got like the beginning is just like, I know you all want to eat, so just eat smakelijk, have at it, go eat. And at the end of the year, it's really short. Who won the cup? And then just very briefly, stay safe over the summer, and we'll see you next year. He's very good.
He does throw out a few plot twists with throwing out some extra points to Gryffindor at the end. Though,
Yeah,
let's be fair.
that's true.
Like, he's a plot twister, and I'm not sure I want a plot twister in my end of year speech.
But I do think they would be more interesting.
I can't accept that.
There would be more interesting speeches though, and they'd still be brief. Like he's never got more than like 4 or 5 sentences whenever he speaks.
That raise we discussed, you're not getting it.
You're not getting it.
We've decided to put that into the sustainability budget.
Oh.
Yes. Here's what you could have won.
So Simon writes, it would be nice to have a company leader say, you know what, I'm not going to give the usual spiel. Some of you did great. Some of you, I'm not so sure.
I was just reading that. That would be an amazing speech. And also like,
and then just stop and go, you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah. And that includes you, Dave. We all know, Dave.
Not mentioning names, but looking at you now.
Yeah, yeah. And, in fact, you probably should leave early to pack your desk, Dave. Yeah.
Oh.
Love you, mate. Cheers.
Poor Dave.
Poor Dave.
Well,
Yeah.
moving on from Dave. What about time off? Like, does your office shut down, or is there like this weird unspoken rule about taking leave being forced on people, or assumptions made about other folks being available or not? How does that work where you are?
I mean, in my team, of course, we're a DevOps team, so we need to have someone available all the time. So that's like the first trick to getting people, getting someone to work during the holidays. But besides that, it's open for anyone to work if they want to. I mean, in Sweden, unlike other countries where they actually move so that you get other days off if the holidays falls on a weekend, tough luck if you live in Sweden, because we're not compensated at all for that. So this Christmas, it's quite a lot of people working because it's a really sucky Christmas to work in Sweden.
Yeah, well, we're a consultancy. So generally, like if you are not billable on an assignment, the general message is please go on holiday as much as you can in this period, because we're not going to find a new assignment for you anyway. But for everyone else, it is pretty much like if you still have days, go ahead and plan them. There's no set thing. Although I must say, all the governmental agencies, they do shut down for like 2 weeks, and there's just nothing to do. Which then if you choose to work, you're just at the office sat like, well, this is interesting, nothing to do here. But yeah,
is that tolerated?
Well, it is, but it's not
Yeah.
recommended. Like, it's strongly advised to take that time off. But sometimes, like for me, I used up all my vacation days. So yeah. Luckily my client is just staying open and I can keep working. But could have been different.
You see, you shouldn't have those days have to be taken as holidays. I mean, I get, if like you're on a DevOps team or whatever, but in general, why don't the higher ups just go, look, let's just suck it up, 3 days, just give it to everybody, man, come on, and like just let everybody have it off. Because there's been a few times in organizations where I've been, and it's a will they won't they kind of thing, and that they leave it until sort of second week of December or third week and go, hey guys, we've decided that everybody gets half day on the last day of work, and that's for free. And also we're closing down over Christmas because we're so cool and we love you. And it's like, dudes, you either knew you were going to do that in June when you were doing the budget, so why not tell us then, or man up and just freaking make it part of your like entire year's budget. Because
best ones are the ones that tell you that morning.
Yeah, that's the other one. Oh yeah, sorry. So you can leave at midday. It's like, what the hell? Why didn't you tell me this last week? I could have done some last minute shopping, or
there's a ton of group action you can take there though, right? I mean, I understand that's frustrating, but truly, if you decide as a group that you're just going to play board games at the office that day, like, it doesn't matter what management says. That's what's going to be happening that day.
And that's what does happen, but it's a thing of like sort of make it a thing. But also, like, when you're getting a new job or something like that, and they say, we are going to give you 28 days holiday, and you're like, I know 3 of those days have to be the 3 between Christmas and New Year, don't you? So you're actually giving me 25. So come on guys, figure it out, give us those days.
There is this thing though, like I discussed working over holidays with Sanne before, and there's a time when you can work over the holidays when you can just get all that stuff done that you couldn't get done when these things called meetings get in the way. I always quite enjoyed like the solitude and the silence, like, of just being able to get something done without having to worry about Slack and emails and stuff. It was really quite peaceful. So when I was forced to take holiday off, because they're like, office shut down, even if you're remote or anything like that, it's quite frustrating because it's like, that's my holiday.
But true, but that's also because, of course, I am blissfully into my planners and planning systems. As you all know, I go slightly overboard with that. So like that period to me is quite magical anyway, because it's when I reorganize all my journals and I put pretty colors and I make it all pretty. And it's like, I love that time to sort of just gather. But I do understand that is a particular defect of mine, and some other people might not enjoy that.
It's definitely a feature, Sanne. It's not
a feature.
I do remember from one company where like they always wanted to have at least one developer and one tester available between Christmas and New Year's as well. And because I was the newest and I didn't really have a lot of holidays, I was like, I guess that's me. And it was kind of nice in a way because everyone there is like pure chilled out. Like this was pre-COVID, so we were still all at the office, but like everyone's pure nice and relaxed and sort of festive, and you're just kind of puttering about and doing your own thing. And Chris, you bringing it up, I'm like, oh yeah, that was all right, that was pretty good. But I took the holidays anyway because I just love sleeping in and not working.
There is the old double standard that does pop up, whereby I think there is an expectation of people without families, like without children and partners, to be more likely to be asked to work during that period. And there's the other side where I choose to work and then get asked, don't you want to spend time with your family? It's like, no.
People judge you no matter what, don't they? There's assumptions all over the place.
I see them the rest of the time. This is fine. But yeah, funny enough, Veerle, you did remind me. I mean, having had a rant, I mean, most of my rant about the sort of like days off between Christmas and New Year are from sort of this part of my career. But early on in the computer games industry, as many of our regular viewers will remember, is where I started. And I do have a distinct memory of working between Christmas and New Year. And my boss was there, and he just went, lads, look what I brought, and just crate of beer on there and just loads of snacks and stuff.
Oh
and we just got lads. It was great. you start sort of trying to do some work, and it's not.
You
it's
start
not really
hitting
working.
that
Imagine-
Bulmer peak.
Imagine the
Not
edge case
true.
bugs you'll find with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And the
Or
steps of
create if you're-
reproduction. Steps of
Yeah.
reproduction is like mix your drinks.
Yeah, for any of you who played any of the games that I made during the earlier times of my career, I do apologize. Some of the bugs in there were influenced by alcohol.
That's a special
Interesting.
type of crate test or some such.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Bolton and has the shoe test, and Shey has the crate test. Yep, there we go.
If I could still operate your app after this crate, it's bloody brilliant.
I love the
usability.
drawing bit. I love the drawing bit. Look, I drew a thing.
That's a good reason for computer games having a pause button as well if you drunk too much, because you might need to just pause it to go away. Like some of the times they don't pause these days. Problematic. Maybe we'll stop talking about that. End of year reviews, people. Why do they do it to us at this time of year? Why now?
I didn't have one.
I'm
Because
about to have
they
mine
hate you to
in.
have a Christmas. They hate you to have a fun Christmas. There you
I
go.
have it
think
at
I-
4 p.m. today.
I think I
What?
was meant to schedule my own and I didn't.
Veerle, oh no.
I'll do it in January. It's like
That's
it's
because you
better-
don't know which cluster you're in, dear. That's why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
No, I
yeah,
mean it's
yeah.
better to set goals for the new year than to look back on the old year, isn't it?
I do think so. I mean, you do need the feedback moment where they tell you kind of, okay, this is in the end how you did. It's part of our process. We always get that, but it's very much a sit and listen conversation. It's not a very interactive one because we've already had the discussions about how things went and the judgment of it and the talks. So this is all just sorry,
Are they
Sebastian,
not
the
doing
comments.
are they not doing the how did you feel it went this year?
No, but that's done in October. Like that's done
Alright.
way earlier. So at this point, it's just like, okay, we've reviewed the thing and this is the end. Like you basically get a number and they justify why, and that's it. And after that, you just go into the new year, you start planning the new year, which is another thing I find really weird. I have to talk about this. There's always the period where if you have this conversation pretty early, so like early December, until you start planning the new year, which is generally end of January. So you have these 2 months, usually, where you have no targets, no objectives,
Absolutely no
goals,
direction
Like
like
whatsoever.
complete freedom to do whatever you want to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there's this weird gap between HR cycles. I always feel that's like, well, does this mean I do what I want? It's like, yay.
Pull out those planners, get them planned.
Yeah. Make pretty
Whereas
pictures.
the rest of us go, and that's about it.
Yeah. But did you not have yours, Veerle, do you think, because you haven't been there a full year?
Also possible, but like I was actually talking with a colleague and he just casually went like, yeah, so when I had my 6-week chat with our manager, and I was like, you have 6-week chats, like every 6 weeks you chat with them. I was like,
I've been here.
and so I asked him like, wait, did you plan this or did he plan this? And he was like, oh no, he invited me. He was like, yeah, you speak every 6 weeks. I was like, well, he didn't fucking invite me, did he?
You're not on his list? You're on the naughty list?
But no, but like, I don't know.
You're
like,
on the naughty list. I love it.
Yeah, I guess. No, my colleagues had like a really well thought through explanation of maybe why not. And I was like, I'll accept it because I don't mind too much. But I did think at some point, like, I should probably be like getting in touch with my manager and like getting feedback from my colleagues. And like, I think I'm the only one who hasn't done that. Like, I've been getting all these request for feedback forms from all of my colleagues, and like I kind of did take that as a hint of like maybe I should be organizing this yet, but I kind of haven't.
You would organise
think-
it, but you're too busy filling out requests for
Yeah.
feedback forms. That's it.
Yeah, pretty
There you go.
much.
Continuous would make so much more sense, but then I guess at some point they have to tie in compensation to it. So yeah, I'm not sure how to do that differently, but I don't like it being in December.
Some places have this whole like phase where that you can only be promoted in like every 6 months or 12 months as well. So they want to try and get
Some
all of
places,
this.
yes, I'm familiar.
Gee.
Oh man, the 12. If you can sit at the end of the year when you don't give two shits about what's going on at the moment, because you're just looking at, you're so busy with Christmas and all the rest of it, and you have to look back over the entire freaking year and remember, well, not January and February because you did stuff all then, from February onwards, what the hell you did, justify what you did, talk about how you achieved some fucking stupid goals that you set over 12 months ago, and then justify why you should get your bonus. What kind of shit is that, man? Come on. You know,
Shey, this is where those lists and planning comes in. It's really helpful
okay,
when you do
yeah,
that
I
every
see,
month to look back and get an overview of those things.
I see my problem now. I mean, that's it. You know, this. You know, don't get, reviews is a separate rant for me. I bloody hate the whole sort of like, oh, we expected you to be doing this. Well sorry, I speak to you like every couple of weeks, and this is the first time you're telling me.
Yeah.
Genuine story. But you know, it's that kind of crap. Why have one annual? Why have it at Christmas? Because also it's like, oh, you did badly this year. Well, thank you. That's going to make my Christmas great, isn't it? Because now I know don't know whether or not I'm going to lose my job in the new year. You know, all the rest of that junk.
Yeah, the saddest I think is when that's the one of two moments you speak to the person that is all about that compensation and reward system, and you just have the year's planning and the year's review, and in between it's like no contact. I think those are the saddest cases, because that just shows you that someone's not really involved with your day-to-day development and growth and how you're actually making an impact. And that I always feel partly is on the person themselves, but it's also partly on the manager. Like, you should be in touch a whole lot more. And at the very least, you should know what cluster you're in, who's supposed to be doing those conversations with you.
Or how to define cluster when they ask you in the one-to-one.
Yeah.
I do know the person that I'm meant to be having these conversations with. Actually, he made me take this home yesterday.
Right. So you have spoken to him.
Don't trust anything he says.
Yeah.
No,
I think that's an indication of a lack of trust, not a
no. He
trust.
very much did it as a joke. He very much knew how much it would wind me up. So I think that's kind of cool.
Oh, I love that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you should start the beginning years conversations like, I want to give you a bit of feedback about the Christmas party. And do it all serious so he feels like quite worried.
And then give him the book back. There's the feedback. What else we got there? Shall we? I think. Should we?
We need a story time.
I'm thinking story time. Where about story time?
Story time. We got one about Sinterklaas walking in to the office.
Oh my
I
god!
swear we need to play a jingle every time.
Everybody set the fuck down, because I've got a fucking doozy for you. Yeah, so as some people may know, in the Netherlands we tend to celebrate Saint Nicholas Day, like not more, but like as much as Christmas elsewhere. And so yeah, we get like Saint Nick walking around, or rather people dressing up as him because he's dead. Anyway, sorry, this is already going off the track quite badly. So at some point, I'm in the office, not suspecting a damn thing, and I was just pairing with like one of our devs, and like everybody's having a generally good time, when I hear behind me the voice of a person sounding a bit theatrical, and I look around, and there he fucking is, Sinterklaas, right? With one of the peers, one of the staff he has. I still don't know who it was. It must have been one of our colleagues, and yeah, dressed up as Sinterklaas, and he just sort of goes in, and I just look at my colleague going like, no, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this.
Panic in your eyes.
Yeah, because it's just really
God.
flipping awkward when you're all just sensible adults, and suddenly someone dressed up playing a role walks in, and you all have to go along with it. Like, I don't deal with that very well. However, it got worse because obviously, you know how like this is a thing that they probably used to do. I can't imagine people still do this, but like you get like the Santa photo op, and like children sit on their lap, and like it's a thing. There should not be a thing with adults. However, it became a thing with the present adults, because Sinterklaas just sat down in a chair and went like, all right, so who wants to get on my lap and tell me about the year? I was like, are you
Are you kidding me?
Are
Oh
you
my God,
actually
what the
fucking
fuck?
doing this? So I kind of went like, no. So I just shouted from across a bunch of desks, like, you can't do that. That's a me too. Everybody
Well
looked
done.
around as if I were the fucking Grinch, right? And I was like, no, what are you doing? Like, you can't have fully grown people sitting on a fully grown person's lap. Then someone did. Someone went like, oh yeah, I always tell your lap and tell you about the year. And I just sat there and looked
my
on
God.
in absolute horror and disgust. And then somebody else also sat on his lap and told him more, and I was like, what is actually going on? Like, am I actually seeing this? And then they handed out sweeties to everyone and they left, and I sat there like
completely shell-shocked.
like no words for the experience I just had. Like, it was so fucking weird, man. It was really fucking weird.
Yeah, so at our company, it's always the same dude that does the Sinterklaas dress-up thing. And though there were no forced hugs or sitting on laps thing, the whole thing of like walking through the office, playing loud music with all the helpers as people are still actively trying to get shit done. It's like so bloody awkward, especially when
you've got your targets, right?
You got your targets, but also our office is like the place where we have client conversations. Like, most of the time, if there's a meeting going on, it's either between colleagues or it's with clients. There's no real in between there. So to have that at the main office with all these big meetings going on, and then just, like Sinterklaas music blasting from this speaker and this one. Yeah, well, it was bad.
I wouldn't mind it if they really wanted to organize something like this. Like, if they did it in a place that you can go to if you want to, like, have it somewhere.
Yeah.
But like, don't go through the office. Like, it's just plain weird.
Yeah, but also you can set it up as a really good joke. I mean, you can have somebody that is going to sit on their lap and they're buds and that that's part of the show. Like, it's still a bad joke, but that is so much better than just randomly like, do you want to sit on my lap just because I happen to be wearing an old guy's costume and have a beard now? It's like, no.
To be honest, like the people that sat on his lap probably did know him and like probably are pals, but like for
it's
the
awkward.
rest of us who weren't aware, like, it was just really awkward.
Like, I found it awkward enough to have to shake his hand. I found that awkward enough, like in the lobby coming in. Yeah, it's wrong on all sorts of levels. Can we just stop that? That would be nice. Yeah, thank you.
In general, the whole COVID thing has really improved, like, mandatory hugs and handshakes, because now you're like, no, give me a bro hoof and that's fine.
Yeah, it's given a good option to keep people at a distance, but there's still too many people trying to give hugs and trying to get that contact over even? They're still there. I mean, it's rare, and it's very easy to say like, no, look, just give me a fist bump. It's COVID. And then they're like, oh yeah. And they accept it. But there's still some people that just go straight in. Like, whoa, back off.
Dude.
Yeah, that going straight in is not cool. I mean, I think we've talked about that before, haven't we? About that kind of stuff. But it is a sort of like, you sort of go, do you hug? Do you, what do you want to do? And then there's that.
That's the polite version. Yeah.
It's an awkward dance to do, but it's an okay dance to do because that respects everybody's space.
Also, with the colleagues, I love being very explicit. So here's like, I'll go up to them, it's like, I really need a hug. Like, please. And then just look at them with little puppy eyes. And then it's like, that's absolutely okay. And there's people you trust enough to do that with. And glad that that's back. But there's still plenty of people that's like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, like we met once before. It's okay. We don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And stop trying to sit next to me at the fucking Christmas meal.
Yes, I want a circle around me of space where you all just leave me the fuck alone. That would be my preferred Christmas dinner at an office party.
Over there.
How about we do the Christmas party like virtually? We do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
You can find me at the Zoom Christmas party with my camera off, my microphone off, my laptop off.
I mean, Zoom Christmas parties can be terrible, but can be awesome. You remember the test bash and the crystal maze and all that good stuff?
Yeah, that was so good. Holiday bash.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Was such a good time.
And the limbo competition.
Oh my god, I want to jump in that
again.
No, like just the once, but like it was because
No, as in you won this one
You're
too.
wearing a one Christmas jumper right now, Phil.
No. I only attended one holiday bash, and that was like last year, I think. And like that at the time, I won the Christmas jump or the holiday bash jumper, but not because I got the lowest limo. I think that was Bruce, but I won because I made a point of it being like, yeah, but I did mine in really high heels.
Yeah.
There.
That was good.
It's very valid.
Which honestly should level up anything, especially performance reviews. Like if you've done everything this year, but then
In
also
heels.
done it in heels, that should
Yeah.
give you an extra bit of compensation.
I love it. Here
I'm gonna
about the Christmas jumpers, I was super disappointed last week because it turns out that everybody I got an email except for our team when it said like, oh, next week Tuesday is Christmas jumper day, and I didn't know, so I didn't wear a Christmas jumper. I was
What a
so-
cluster.
But you are showing off a mighty fine Christmas jumper today. In fact, everybody here is wearing fantastic Christmassy wares. I've been hearing Sanne's throughout this, which has been a delight. Those bells. I mean, can we just have a little look of everyone's? Hannah's got a beautiful hat,
I've
and look
got
at
a-
this
Penguin.
penguin,
super
and
cute.
and Veerle's got a Dutch Railways one.
I'm so pleased with this because they didn't have one for like everyone. They found these somewhere. They were a few years old, and probably at the time like somebody just lost or forgot about this box of them. So they had about, I don't know, like 20 or something. Made it into a little raffle, and I got one of them, and I was absolutely obsessed with this jumper, and I'm so happy to have it. I'm super proud of this. But look, there's like little reindeer
It's
pulling
pulling
the
the
trains,
trains.
and then it says Utrecht Centraal, which is where I work, and I'm super pleased. I'm so happy with this jumper.
That is bloody cool. See,
Shey, we can see a little bit of yours.
I've got a little snowman with a scarf and a nose.
Oh,
It's the 3D
nice.
thing. I'm going to breathe in now so that you don't see my big fat belly. There we go. Get it out of the way. Sorry, folks. Some things can't be unseen. I get it.
I have the cheesy Christmas jumper.
That is really good.
I've got an even worse bit of headgear that just
Oh,
brings
And it
this to the
turns
next
on.
level. Yeah.
That is an
Hang on, we're
upgrade.
going to have
my
to now put
friends.
an epilepsy warning on this. On this
Yeah, now we
episode,
do.
aren't
Now we do.
You look like a very festive Statue of Liberty.
Yes, that was what I was going for. Thank you, Veerle.
Nice.
That is cool. I really like that headband. That's pretty funky. Real old school sort of glass style lights there.
So as much as we hate Christmas parties, apparently we all love the like Christmas jumper, do stupid shit at work with
I do.
Christmas gear.
I've got one little gripe thing about Christmas time in the office,
All right.
and that is this time of year. I don't know if you've noticed, even before COVID, people got colds and flus and things. Now, it was the people that would still come into the office streaming and trying to suppress coughs, and they'd spend all day quietly going,
That's the worst.
why are you here spreading your germs?
Well, it's not even the suppressing cough, is it? The ones that are going.
Well, it's like,
Yeah.
but so that happens before COVID, but now people still do it.
Yeah.
That
Today-
combined with all the candy and everything that people just pick at afterwards as well. It's like a whole jam factory. Waiting
I
to
have to
happen.
say, Chris, that like we had quite a few people recently that just went like, "I've got a cold, I'm not coming in." And I was like, "Oh, good on you."
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's good. I'm feeling quite attacked because I did go in with quite a bad cold recently, but I was like, oh, it was such an important thing. It was one of those like once in a quarter, 2-day thing on the new project where I didn't know anyone yet. But yeah, to be fair, I dosed up on like cough medicine and the nose spray and everything just to suppress it as much as I could. And it went all right, I think. But I am one of those people. I'm sorry, Chris.
I actually had to leave a meeting yesterday because I got into a really bad coughing fit, but like it wasn't it's not a cold cough, like it's just one of those where it feels like there's something like tickling your throat and you're like, oh shit, I'm about to die. So I had to go out and like chug water in the hallway.
Well, to be fair, I am still testing before I go to these meets and after. So I do know pretty sure that I'm not contagious in that way at the very least. But yeah, colds, I am feeling more and more comfortable of just ignoring these days, even at the office.
So Heather's got a good point here. Heather's wrote that she went in with a cold when there was no paid sick leave, and you get a disciplinary for being off sick. Employers, don't do that.
Yeah, that's
You are a
just
jerk
really
if you
wrong.
do that.
Yeah,
Don't-
absolutely. Yeah.
My
I
goodness.
had one manager at my very first job who, when a lot of people were sick, and to be honest, that was because it was really shitty work environments, why people kept on getting sick. But he was like, now when times are rough, I think people should just stop feeling like, really feeling how they feel, or like sensing how they feel before they go to work, like just suppress it and go there. That's like, yeah, that's really making people go to work, mate.
So here in the
Yeah, but
Netherlands, there's like a sick leave registry wherein every company does send the data on to this one big organization ministry that registers sick leave in case you become long-term ill and they have to compensate your salary. So they can, based on when Christmas falls, predict which day will have the highest number of sick people, because it's generally the day after the day that the most office Christmas parties take place.
Oh my God.
We've circled back to Christmas party.
Yeah.
So this year, it was last week, Friday, they could already predict was going to be the highest number of people calling in sick than at any other given time in the year.
Wow.
They could predict it ahead of time. Yeah, I found that really funny.
I wanna say to yous and everyone watching that I could have stayed out a lot longer last night because we were actually having a brilliant time and people were just like offering me sofas and being like, I could just take the first train back home. Like, who cares? I took the last train home so that I wouldn't be too hungover today and be fresh in the
Hooray.
session.
Yay.
Hooray.
We love you for that.
Yeah, well done, well done. But
We would
that
have
could
loved
been
you
my
fun.
more
party mood.
completely
Still drunk
hungover and still drunk. But
Still
we
drunk
love you.
Veerle, just, oh god, is it story
Yeah.
time already?
It's like I could have a little head of the dog, like have a little repetitive mulled wine, but I know I managed to resist.
You need to track down your keys first, I think.
Don't tell people that. Don't tell people that I locked myself out of the house and then had to crash on a friend's sofa and then I had to go and get the spare key from people that I know in the morning.
Yes. So in the end, the whole I took a train home pretty on time kind of backfired anyway.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh well, the intentions were good, and that's all that counts.
Yeah, you would
But
have
you
been
see what I
even
mean?
later.
You see what I mean? I love a Christmas party. I can't lie. I can't rant about Christmas parties.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Well, so we're winding down now. So maybe
Yeah.
we should all, at this end of year time, present some wisdom to our great watchers, listeners here. Does anyone have any final thoughts for Christmas and New Year? Isn't that
When
nice?
you're at the Christmas party, don't photocopy your butt.
I've never seen that in real life.
Neither have I, but I'm dying to see it. Actually, everyone go photocopy your butt because I would love for this to happen.
The
in real life.
greatest
I
of
think
wisdoms.
I think it's absolutely a TV trope.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
I
would
will
say-
be asking you after we go offline.
Predates the internet. That's all I'm saying.
Take real advantage of that time in between sort of your end year appraisal and the New Year's planning, where you are basically free to do whatever you like, and spend that time really getting clear on what it is that you find important. Because it is a bit of a gap and it is a breather, despite the pressure staying on. I think it's a good moment for reflection.
Yeah, and you know, sort of on that as well. It's like it's also okay just to switch off. You know, you're not at work, so don't do work. Switch the hell off. It'll be fine.
Mostly. Sometimes.
Ho fucking
Yeah.
ho, Sanne. Thanks, mate. My bit of wisdom killed it.
The Grinch.
Yeah, I think as well, just take the time off and unwind a little bit because you're all worth it. It's been a long autumn.
Look after yourself. Sometimes Christmas time, holidays, you have to go and do things that you don't really want to do and see people that maybe you don't really want to see.
Yeah, Dave.
Obligations and stuff, right? Look after yourself, protect yourself.
And like
Find
Ben
peop-
said, the Grinch in the end was a lovely old soul.
He was. He was.
Was it?
And
I've never actually read the.
Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other. That's
a great
beautiful-
note. Yeah.
The greatest of wisdoms. So should we just tell everybody where they can find us beyond this beautiful YouTube stream?
Well, we're starting to
Um,
give up on Twitter, aren't we?
Well,
A
we're sort of
little
hanging
bit, yeah.
around.
You're
Hanging
still there.
around, but yeah.
Still there, but it is feeling more and more ridiculous posting there. I have to say, every time I scream something into that burning void, I'm like, why
Yeah.
am I here? It's starting to feel weird properly.
Yeah.
It's the saddest part of 2022 in terms of interactivity
Yeah,
in the Connect
yeah.
community.
True.
for sure.
But I don't know. I don't know if I want to fill this void or not. So I'm in two minds. So until that time, you can still find me on Twitter at Witch of the Test, and you can also find me on the Ministry of Testing Slack and the Agile Testing Day Slack and a bunch of other Slacks, and on LinkedIn, I guess, under my normal name.
Yeah, I still got my Twitter going. I'm at Simply Sanne. You can also find me on the Ministry of Testing Slack, and you can spot me on LinkedIn, also Simply Sanne.
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn with my name, or on pretty much any testing Slack, probably. I'm in a lot of them. Please write to me.
Slackmaster.
Yeah, same here. So I'm at Shey Mouse on Twitter. I will go onto Mastodon at some stage, and I will fire up a 9 out of 10 testers Mastodon at some stage, just for the hell of it, just to see where the cool kids are. But
Then
also
I'll
Shey
have
Mouse.
to join Mastodon.
Yes,
No,
then you will
won't,
have to.
because as 9 out of 10 testers will be there, so it's meta, right?
It's meta.
Okay, it's meta.
It's not
And-
meta because that's Facebook.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Whoa.
soon to be meta. I bet you somebody's trying to buy them out at the moment. And yeah, on LinkedIn under my name. But look, stay safe, have fun, and come and chat. Love you all.
Yeah, and I'm Christofskia on pretty much any social networks where I exist. Christopher has started software development is social on Mastodon. Maybe you could drop a link in the chat, Christopher, so then everyone can come and join you on there. I believe AST are sponsoring it now, which is quite exciting.
Ooh, cool.
Nice.
So I'm there. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on many of the Slacks. And of course, the Testing Peers podcast, which you should all listen to. We did a nice festive episode that we released on Sunday also. Beyond that, happy holidays, rest up, Merry Christmas, and we will see you all. Well, you four, I'll see. The other one else, just your lovely words and stuff on the side in the new year. We love you lots. See you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 How do I switch this off? Hang on.
Ah,
Hang on.
come
Okay,
on,
hang
time
on.
God.
Are
I
we
need my
off?
time given back.
Okay, hang on. I'll give you your time back.
Try to get the lights back on.